Hello everybody, Dark Skeleton here, and in this video I'd like to briefly show you HearthArena.com, which is a tool you can use if you're a Hearthstone player trying to get better at Arena mode. Because in addition to having tools for basically tracking your past progress, what classes you've done the best with, whether you won games on the coin or off the coin, it actually has a tool where you can get suggestions on the cards you should add to your deck while you're making the deck in actual Hearthstone. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick demonstration of that so that you can see what I'm talking about. So we'll go to Arena mode here inside of actual Hearthstone, purchase a match, and go ahead and select a class. Generally you would just kind of look at the data for what other players are playing in order to win games if you want to figure out which class you should generally play. But here I'm going to go with Mage, because Mage historically has just been super good. Flamestrike is an amazing card in Arena mode if you don't already know that. So we'll select this, and now with that done, we can go ahead and go to Start New Arena inside of Hearth Arena. Start a new arena run, so we select Mage here. And the difference between this site and a simulated draft is that we manually put the cards in to these three things, and Hearth Arena will tell us which card is generally the best pick there, but the recommendations do tend to be pretty good overall. So here in Hearthstone, we can see that our options are Wild Pyromancer, Knife Juggler, and Argent Watchman. You might, in your mind, think, well, Argent Watchman, no one ever plays that, so it's between Knife Juggler and Wild Pyromancer, but exactly which of those two cards is correct? Well, Hearth Arena can tell us if we don't want to make that decision for ourselves. So this is a tool, especially for players who are kind of newer to Arena and don't know which cards are the best. This is the kind of tool that will help you out. So we can put in Knife Juggler here. And if I recall, okay, you do actually have to put in all three. I was going to say that maybe you don't, but okay, so let's get Argent Watchman up there too. And what it's going to do is it's going to run a bunch of calculations in the background and figure out which card has the highest arena score. And that's not just based off which is the highest on the tier list, but also if we look down here, the deck creator on HearthArena.com is going to keep track of which classes of cards have we added to the deck. So in an arena run, you do want to have a somewhat balanced deck. So sometimes picking a 2-drop might be more important than picking the best card overall in terms of pure power. And the calculations do keep track of that. So you can see right here, because as the first pick, it suggests Knife Juggler, but it's very close between Wild Pyromancer. So you could almost kind of make your own decision about this, honestly. Either are a fine choice. But here we'll just go ahead and choose the arena score for every pick in this run. Unless there's a really good reason not to. So Knife Juggler there and actual Hearthstone. And now it's Spellslinger, Polluted Hoarder, and Cone of Cold. So Spellslinger. Oops. Polluted Hoarder. Cone of Cold. And it's going to run the calculation one more time. Spellslinger, slightly obviously the best choice. It's not completely obvious, but Spellslinger generally a pretty solid card. So that's the choose here, the choice. And now we have three pretty crappy cards. Let's put those in. Rager. And Tauren Warrior. Okay, and these are all so bad that Tauren Warrior is actually the best card here. So I'm going to speed up the rest of this process, and then I'll talk to you guys again at the end, and we'll see how the deck creation actually went. Before we wrap up the video, I'd like to take a little time to point out how once you get far and deep into the arena drafting process, it starts to make comments about the cards you already have in your deck. So here it recommends Cult Master because there's no cards that really benefit from having a strong tempo or your minions dying in the deck, but Cult Master allows you to draw cards. In this example, it's actually going to recommend a Nubasoth Sentinel over a Raging Worgen because there's already 3 drops in the deck. Normally, you'd go for Raging Worgen. In some cases, the choice is really obvious, and it'll comment on that, such as whenever you're offered a Faceless Summoner in Arena, that's one of the best Mage Arena cards, so it immediately gives a value of 93 there. Okay, and this is the final pick in the Arena draft, which does illustrate how even the best systems can go a little bit wrong. So the choice here is between Ancient Mage and Blackwater Pirate. It actually says that Blackwater Pirate is the better card here, but for a Mage specifically, the possibility of having spell damage is obviously, to a real player, going to be better than reducing the cost of your weapons, because mages don't have any weapons. So that's one instance where it got it wrong, but generally Hearth Arena is pretty solid on its decisions. So now that we've gone ahead and created the deck both inside of Hearthstone and HearthArena.com, we'd be free to go ahead and run through the actual Arena run, see how we did, and upload the results back into Hearth Arena so that we can keep track of them over a longer period of time if Arena is something you want to get more serious into. But right on the page, since we also created the deck on HearthArena.com, we can see all of the details about it. Like, we have 5 2-drops, which is a little bit on the low side, honestly. Not a lot of good ones aside from Knife Juggler and Sorcerer's Apprentice were offered. A few too many 3-drops, but overall a decent curve, kind of 2, 3, 4, 5. No first turn cards though, unfortunately. They are sometimes actually good, especially if it's like a Zombie Chow. And quite a few spells though. So overall, I think that the deck it created for us is decent. I don't actually disagree with any of the decisions it was making for us that much. But the cards that were offered weren't necessarily the best here. So I do think that this is a pretty solid Arena run. And if you do play it right, you could get 4 or 5, maybe more wins inside of your run. So overall, this tool won't make you a Arena Grandmaster or anything like that. But if you're having trouble picking cards out, then something like HearthArena.com is probably worth actually investing some of your time into. Because think about it, you're going to be playing. And since you're investing gold or even real dollars into doing that Arena run, you want to get the most out of it. So naturally, you should spend some extra time up front to make sure that you put together a good deck. Because honestly, I would say that most Hearthstone matches are won in the deck building. And that also applies to Arena. So if you take your time, use HearthArena.com and try to put together a decent deck, you might see some improved results. So I've been Dark Skeleton, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my future videos.